it or not.
So this meeting is being live streamed. Got it.
Yeah, so what we would normally do is we go and put it in groups and publish it everywhere. But
It's a real shame that we can't have my usual introduction with a fantastic track by Muggsy the Juck.
you can do it.
Let's do it.
Just
Okay.
play.
Okay, media player, let me see. Yeah. I did. Oh. Because I rebooted my because I was being hacked, so
Okay.
so I rebooted it all. Are you not recording now, are you? Are you live now?
I think it's live. I don't know. Yeah, it says live.
Okay, well, listen, I won't waste my time with that. Just check out www.outofthebagradio.weebly.com, and any of my podcasts for the last 10 years has probably got Muggsy the Juck as my theme tune at the beginning, and it's well worth listening to.
Okay, so I don't know how many. Okay, so we're just randomly going live. So let me get off the screen because it's distracting me.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm here with the infamous Sean Maguire.
Infamous.
He's normally the one interviewing, but today I'm playing the host, Sean, and you're the guest. And
Yeah.
you've had you normally are presenting the Out of the Bag Rebellion Hour and some crazy punk rock music.
Yes, this is
And
true.
yeah, you've had some amazing guests on your show, and you're generally dealing with human rights type of things. And you personally, Sean, had some issues, court-related matters, and I think it's been a long-standing. And you had a big win a long time ago against the authorities.
Yeah.
And you got some payout, which you spent long ago, of course.
It wasn't the right payout. My unfortunately at that time, my partner was living in fear and thought that would be the maximum we could go for. I didn't get what I wanted.
I understand.
I can still go back to that anyway, so it's grand.
Yeah. Criminal matters don't have any time limit.
No,
and
exactly.
It was a six-figure sum or thereabouts, I believe.
Yes.
A long time ago, you put inflation, so it wasn't too bad. It's better than a poke in the eye, as they say.
Well, they offered everybody 10 grand to start off with. That was it. You all got offered €10,000, and that was it. And I argued, hang on a second. I've just lost my job. I cannot work. What's going on? 10 grand isn't even going to get me, anything. So I argued.
So well done. And then you have some at the time the code fraud we weren't so aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, you had a show with myself last year.
Yes.
Which we call the Death of Council Tax.
Indeed.
Where we had a written document from the Croydon Magistrates Court in London that all the council tax things that coming through the court are false, counterfeit, fraud, not court proceed. They just hire the
and just at this point, go to my website again. Go to the home page. Put in Anthony Badaloo into the Google search, and you'll find those brilliant shows. Really good.
And that show went to number 10 in the speech chart or something on.
It was Mixcloud, I think,
which was joint position with the BBC.
It's true.
You're coming up in the world, And then 10 days after that publication, Priti Patel, or the government in the UK, announced that they'd lost nearly 500,000 court records.
Whoa, how did that happen?
We introduced a document online for people to download to interrogate their court record, which we call it Check My Court File.
Yeah.
And it's still there, and a lot of people are downloading it, and things are getting a bit freaky in the courts, as you discovered. So you had a court case against you, allegedly. And late in the night, we were talking. I was in a kebab shop.
You were, and I was due in court the following morning.
It was after midnight, and you hurriedly drafted
I did. I
a
did.
short knockout.
Actually, shall I show you what I used?
Yeah, sure, carry on. It's outward
Okay,
then.
because basically two wonderful radio shows that I have done. One with the great Anthony Badaloo, who's interviewing me right now. Thank you, Anthony. Honestly, a superstar, if ever there was one. And Robert Sproul
Yeah,
from the
super
Common
guy.
Law Society in
Scottish guy.
Scotland. Yes, yes. Absolutely brilliant. And I used both of them together and no more. I didn't need anything else. And this was very interestingly on the 1st of December.
Yeah.
Now, on the 1st of December, the provisional government in Ireland, Inc., okay, limited, it on the 1st of December had its full power.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on the 6th of December, and I'll come back to that later, on the 6th of December, the 100-year contract came to an end, and we'll explain that later. And then I was in court again on the 15th. So going back to the 1st, this is what I used, and this is all I used. And just to let people know, without giving too much away, it was a private family secret in-camera court. Yeah. And I had no chance of doing anything else but this. Or if I had have done anything else, I would have ended up being drafted into a prison or into a mental institute. It would have been that simple. So they were ready for me, to disappear, to not have out of the bag radio ever again on their airwaves or my poetry. Okay?
Like what they did to Patrick Cullinan.
Exactly, and many others, John Patterson and many, many others. Yeah. So basically, I'll tell you what I did, and you already have heard this, Anthony, of course, because we discussed it. But when they asked me my name, I just said, Sean Maguire, a man, or Sean Maguire, the man. Sean Maguire, a man, Sean Maguire. If they said, sir, no, sir, British title, I am Sean Maguire, a man. Yeah. Now, they could ask you many times, Mr. this, Mr. that. No, I'm not Mr. I'm Sean Maguire, the man. Okay. Sorry, that's annoying, but they were annoying in their questions, and I answered every single one of them as Sean Maguire, the man. Okay. Now, what's really important is that you need also to have a pen and paper and a notepad with you, and you are asking them as soon as they ask it, and can I take your names, please? Yeah. And they do not give you your name, but ask as many times as you can, just as much as you answer your name as you can. So then I just went, I am here to present myself. Is this a court of record?
Record. That's the word.
Okay. I am here to present myself. And this is your words. Is this a court of record? Again and again, I had to say it because they came back angry. They came back, this is a family court. Is it a court of record? This is a da-da-da. Is it a court of record? Just keep your composure and often iterate, I mean no controversy. When they all start getting flustered and angry, you stay calm and let them know that you mean no controversy. You don't understand what they're doing. Okay, don't say that you don't understand what they're doing, because you do understand what they're doing already, comprehend. So then all you needed to do was that I am here to present myself. Is this a court of record? But when I kept asking that question, is this a court of record? The judge pointed at me and said, you know where you're going if you keep asking that question.
A threat. He threatened you, basically.
He threatened me. Yeah. So I just immediately said, I verify in my capacity under full personal liability as man. Do you understand?
Do you understand? I said, that's
do
what
you
they
understand?
ask us all the time, don't it? Do you understand?
Do you understand? So I then said, everyone here, including myself, are held in our private capacity under full personal liability as man or woman. Do you understand? And obviously they get angry and you say, I mean no controversy. You carry on asking, is this a court of record? And when they say Mr. Sir and all the rest of it, you say, John Maguire, the man, or whatever it is.
Yeah, the man all day long. All day long.
So that is what I did. And then I moved on when they seemed to give me a time to speak. Yeah. And I actually think they wanted me to contract with them.
Yeah.
So instead, the judge said, would you like to speak? Now, in my head, I didn't say it. In my head, I said to myself, this is a private family court. Yeah. I do not want to speak. You are not in my family.
Yeah.
This guard, this registrar, this solicitor, they are not my family.
Yeah.
So in my head, I went, no, no, no. So I then continued with your information, Anthony, with Anthony's information. I have never been served with any proceedings from the court. And they say, you were summoned. And I say, no, no, no. Do you mean these sham documents?
Sham documents.
Do you mean these sham documents? And I said it. I would like to make an order for me to view the court file to obtain a copy of the case management printout and for my case from the previous court order in 2017. I want the computerized details to clarify.
Yeah.
And then I said, again and again and again, I have never been served by the court, only sham documents.
Beautiful.
I had already attempted to lodge 3 documents, but I started with the 1 document. Yeah. And I tried to lodge 3 copies of it, one for myself to be stamped, one for the solicitor to be stamped, and one for the judge to be stamped.
Yeah.
I thought that was enough. So they first of all took them away.
Yeah.
There were 2 women, so there were 2 witnesses, and I recognized them, and I will again.
Yeah.
So those 2 women again came back to me, one of the women saying, we can't lodge these, take them back. And I'm like, what? This is for my court case. I'm ready to go into court right now. She said, no, we can't take them. I said, you take them and you tell them to get them lodged and stamped, and I want a copy.
To stamp them. Yeah.
So they then took them away, and I never saw them again.
They stole
which indeed proved that they were never acting on any proceedings of a proper lawful court. So I have never been served with any proceedings from the court is dead right, because even though they pretended to serve me a court order after this, and they asked me to leave, by the way, and then sit down there. I said, no, you are not demanding me to sit anywhere. I said, I will sit here. I will choose to sit here until I get my court order that you say is real, backed up with the lodgements that I filed just before the court case. Otherwise, it is null and void. And he actually said this, fuck off out.
He said, fuck off?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
So I got out and I walked out and I turned around to the 2 witnesses and I said, you were here, you saw all this. I will have you under perjury if you disagree with me. And I walked out.
Perjury,
okay?
That's the one.
So when I walked out, I obviously could have gone straight home to my home.
Yeah.
Ignored the fake fraudulent court order, told my family who are there, if any of you are in fear of me, you can leave. Safe to do so.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's as much as I can say about the 1st of December. So then it came to the 6th of December.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask me anything at this point, or am I going okay?
No, this is fine. The 6th of December was a major coincidence in history, basically.
Yeah, I was kidding.
History and world history, really.
Yeah, global. Yeah, I was kidnapped. In fact, on the first occasion in 2017.
Yeah.
And I was also kidnapped again, and my phone, property stolen, etc., and lies told about me on this time.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just spent a month in prison where there are no records of me being in prison. Over a month.
We've both been in prison.
Oh, well, I've been in a mental ward and prison, my friend. So they've screwed me over twice with false, fraudulent lies and court orders.
And I must be Irish because my mom chose to call me O'Neill. I can't believe this.
I was going to say, oh really? No, O'Reilly.
But yeah, unbelievable. I've been into prison and there is no record of it.
No.
Anywhere. While I was in prison, I'll just jump in a little bit. The police officer who helped to evict me, Paul Purdy, Sergeant Paul Purdy from Barnet, I was released as soon as my house was sold with vacant possession. The house was vacant because I was in Roman prison.
Yeah.
And soon after he bought a house for roughly the same price.
Well, right now, Anthony, I am keeping the bail conditions because these are the wonderful things he does. No, because the Garda and other minions, but some of the Garda do know, and some of the other minions do not know that they are fraudulent orders and are acting in their duty to try and, I suppose, do their job. Okay? They do not know they're fraudulent, and we should understand that they are
possibly.
possible.
Yeah.
Well, I will mention Hugh Gallagher, though, arresting officer Hugh Gallagher. He is up to his tits in corruption and fraud.
Right.
Or he is at least complicit in it.
Right.
Okay. So that man is I've phoned up the Garda station, and listen to this, by the way, over the months that I've been in trouble, as they say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I phoned Tune Garda station to tell them of my whereabouts, to tell them what I'm doing under bail conditions, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And I've asked to speak to Hugh Gallagher man to man, out of his uniform, out of his office, because I know that if he is complicit, he needs to be told what he's really doing and what he's complicit in.
Yeah.
And if he's not complicit, then he is a massive fool, and he needs to cop on and realize the truth. Either way, he is incompetent, because as a arresting officer, I never gave a statement.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Never gave a statement. Never was asked a question.
So there is no due process.
Yeah, there was not due process, of course. No, proceedings were not followed. He is incompetent at his job, or criminal.
Either incompetent or he's...
Or criminal.
You know, I spoke to a police lady in Barnet Station. I think her name is PC India or something. And I said to her, have you ever seen a valid warrant in your life? You know what she answered? No. No.
So people know, why are they complicit in allowing this to happen? Because in Ireland in 1915, 16, 12 or whatever, people, British soldiers pointed guns and got people out of their homes and took the land. Now they are lying, putting people in mental institutes and taking their land, or putting people by lying in prison and taking their land. So Hugh Gallagher, the Father McVery Trust, and people like that are all involved, in fact, whether they know it or not. I don't know if they know it or not, in human trafficking and land grab.
By violence.
Violence,
because if the court order and the warrants that they're claiming to are counterfeit.
They didn't even take into consideration my medical condition. And my medical condition was the reason I won the battle against the courts when I took the government to court. But they got the top doctors to try and prove me not ill. And they actually proved me ill. So I have they haven't done their due diligence. They thought they were taking some Irish paddies home from them. And and he's probably shagging me wife or whatever. I'll say that for the crack, right? But whatever is going on, these people are dangerously stepping on toes that already had sorted their lives out. And I was never part of this shit. No bank or mortgage is over my home. It's all gone. I grow my own food. It was a beautiful, beautiful house. Since my accident, my home has deteriorated. My garden has gone to pot. My beautiful commercially sized polytunnel, which I grew things that I like doing things that people say you can't do. So I grew nectarines and figs and wow. Yes, it was fantastic. And my home was amazing. But no.
Sounds like my home I grew up in Jamaica. We had my dad was a amazing horticulturalist and
had it sorted. I had it sorted. They poked the beast. They poked me. They kidnapped me on a lying, alcoholic, Irish hating man who lives in England, out of this jurisdiction, who phoned the guards after I phoned him. And I've got the recordings in chronological order. So
Yeah.
they're fucked. They're fucked when they go to prison. He'll go to prison. They're fucked when they go to court. Okay. I have recordings of me trying to phone him where he's denying he knows my voice.
Yeah.
Then I phone him and he's, oh, Sean, yeah. Now, I tried to tell him that his daughter, this is personal stuff. Maybe I shouldn't go there. I tried to tell him that someone had created some crimes. Somebody had advised me to go to the guards. Instead of going to the guards, I was keeping it in familial. I was keeping it in the family. I was keeping it private.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And that lie of Derek Lockhart in England, ex-social service working for the police, apparently with trauma in the Fred West case, etc., etc. He's in his 70s now. Who has hated me and has caused me shit when I was in England and is causing me shit before I knew his daughter. I hadn't a clue that I was marrying his daughter. Well, I did, obviously, after. Yeah. Okay? So this man phoned the Tune Garda.
Wow.
To tell the Tune Garda, under the Mental Health Act and under a previous dodgy order from back in the day in 2017,
yeah, that
I was violent and off my medication and I should be somethinged.
Yeah.
Now, if it was madness and if it was insanity, should they not have sectioned me in a mental institute? Yeah. They didn't. They knew I wasn't mad because I had just won. I'll tell you about the rally. If anyone in Ireland knows about the rally, I'm the man that stopped the rally from going past his home. Wow. That's a big thing, Galway Rally Club. I could sue them just like I could sue doctors from pharmaceuticals back in the day when I actually had my crash.
Yeah.
But without going off on tangents too much, it's really important to know that I was lied about. It was planned to steal my home. Mm-hmm. It was planned to shut Sean Maguire up. I think it must be the poetry, because the poetry I've had since I was 5 or 6 years old, performed it since I was 9 years old.
Wow.
But the radio show is a bit of an extra. Okay. Tell the guy to shut the fuck up.
The poetry came first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So listen, can we do this right now? And people know the type of guy I am. Anthony Badaloo, who has helped me so much. Would you be willing to pick a number between 10 and 90? And don't let it be a favorite number or anything, or just let the universe give you a number between 10 and 90.
I'm going to pick a number. I'm going to pick a number 12.
12. Okay, I go to page 12.
The 12 days of Christmas, you know.
Well, if you like, but it goes like this. Running for election or running for the bus? Which is more realistic to any one of us? Spending loads of money on a game that has no rules while the corporations run the countries, not the politician fools. Just another comedy on TV station 1 or a soap opera where the storyline has never quite begun. Decisions that affect us on both local and global levels. They're out of our hands, as we're controlled by mindless devils. Well, I know I sound paranoid as I tell you of the facts, but how else can we explain all the ridiculous nation's acts? Things are getting better. I hear you say to me, well, I believe that when there are no wars, no hunger, and no ignorant stupidity.
Amazing. Show us your book.
Oh, that was for you.
Show us the cover of your book of poetry.
That's the cover of my book. It's not too late to get it for Christmas. I posted 2 yesterday.
Yeah, Christmas. Wonderful, wonderful. The guy's been doing this a long time. It's deep, deep. Poetry cuts through so much, you know, gets right to the emotions. Wonderful. Yes, so to finish it off,
yeah.
You had another hearing and the judge failed to turn up.
Okay, well, a bit of a bigger story than that. I was ready to do lots. Now, I filed some incredible documents and I read them to you. We won't go into it now. It's a lot of information. But a lot of work went into it and it was brilliant. Even if I say so myself. Your words, Robert Sproul's words, the Irish Constitution, IRB, Billy Maguire, Brian McArthy, many fantastic people helped me.
A proper smoothie.
Okay. Pardon?
A proper smoothie blend, healthy blend.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So in a nutshell, I lodged them by registered post this time. to the court manager of Tune District Court.
Seems to
So
be
I
the
was
only way
ready
to
and I
get
knew a bit.
documents through. Registered
I
post.
knew a bit more
If they
about
won't
it.
take a document, you know, it's a criminal
Offence, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I lodged them. They received them on the 14th, apparently. So the gig was on the 15th.
Yeah.
When I went in, they immediately arrested me on 2 make-up charges on breach of the order that I was arguing about. It
Breach
wasn't
of
an
the
order.
fake order. Yeah.
Exactly. So I had 2 breaches on the fake order, and they arrested me. Okay, and I've got the arrest warrants here, and that threw a spanner in my works because I was going to go in and do my thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but also I must say that synchronicity is a magical thing, and since then I now realise that if I'd have done it then, people wouldn't have known about it, and I could still have been got rid of or whatever. People just wouldn't know about it.
Yeah.
It happened for a good reason. But what I managed to do in that court is, number one, for some strange reason, we were in at 10 o'clock. I had the court full of strange and wonderful people all wearing masks, of course. Apparently they were to do with the family criminal court, but there they were. Yeah. I had a witness, the wonderful Kevin Taylor, ex-Garda, who was beaten up at Strokestown. Mm-hmm. If anybody knows Kevin, he hasn't been on my show particularly, but Colin Granahan and the Anti-Eviction Task Force and the Anti-Corruption Task Force and those people, Joe Ducey, etc. Well, Kevin came along and he was my witness. Lots of funny things, and it's a great story. Maybe I'll save it for another time. But lots of very, very funny things happened in the time when apparently the judge should have been there. Now, they didn't say there was a judge. They didn't say there wasn't a judge. All that happened was we seemed to be waiting for about an hour or so.
Yeah.
And then suddenly a judge appeared.
A female
judge. A random judge. Didn't know who it was. So didn't know the name or anything. She came in and... actually, she didn't come in, first of all. She told us all to take our bags, or the court orderly told us to take our bags, and we were going into a smaller room with less people, etc., etc. On our way in, I was moving all my bags and stuff. We were told, no, we've changed our mind. They were absolute, I don't know what's going on. They were flummoxed to flummox land. Okay? So they'd obviously read the lodgements that I placed.
Aye. Power.
Okay? Oh, absolutely. And they realized that they had no power from the 6th of December.
Yeah.
None. Not even the court orders, but the provisional government has no power from the 6th of December. None. It's up to the people now. Over Christmas, have dinner, do what they did in Iceland, and come out with a brand new referendum and choose your leaders. Choose your community activists.
6th of December.
Yes.
The Irish government, legally and lawfully, has lost because they were temporarily put in. And now,
the IR, like I like to say this because it's quite funny, okay? Because I don't join any organizations. I'm not in the IRB. I'm not in anything. Okay, I'm a poet. The IRA, the terrorists.
Yeah.
Okay, we were the first terrorists on the planet fighting for our land. We think. Anyway, the terrorists, the IRA, called themselves not the IRA.
Uh-huh.
They called themselves the Provisional IRA. And I don't know why over the years people have not questioned. Why do they call themselves the Provisional IRA? Well, I did when I was young. And my uncle's answer was, because when the provisional government fucks off, so will we fuck off.
So it's a provisional government.
It's only provisional.
Everybody has forgotten.
Yes. And Michael Collins did make a Free State, 6 counties deal.
Yeah.
But that was only for 2 years. Right. And then it would go to the people again after the atrocity of killing the first sitting Dáil voted in by the Irish people. Okay. Wow. So, yes. So they killed Michael Collins. And instead they installed a fraudulent contract, which we know is a sham court order. Okay. Yes.
Can't get away from that one.
No, for 100, it's all linked in, for 100 years. Wow. That 100-year span ended on the 6th of December. I did not know it ended then.
Yeah.
But after the 1st of December, when I was in Billy Maguire's home, thank you, Billy, in Limerick, near Limerick. He told me the history, and he said people do not know the airbrush history. And he told me about the 6th of December, and he told me all about it. So I know this to be true, and he showed me the documentation that goes with it. So the provisional government, if they are unaware, because it has been 100 years, let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But if they are unaware that they have lost their power, they must be told.
Aye.
If it's up to me to look, it was a mistake that I was in court. I was kidnapped. I was taken in.
No better man than a poet running a punk rock show called Rebellion Hour, who is being served with some fake court orders by the regime.
And they dragged me in, and it's absolutely synchronicity and coincidence that before the 6th, I was in court and I walked free. And on the 6th, the end of their regime, on the 15th, I could have taken a 32-county sovereign republic back just to save my own home. I would have had to do that. Okay, just to save my own home. And as a side effect, it would have brought us and invoked the 32 Sovereign County Republic of Eire, where we did vote in by a 78% margin, apparently. And we can re-vote and revisit that. And what I should be able to take is this from the next court case. I take my home back. I take my life back. Anyone who wants to join me can join me. Anyone who doesn't, doesn't. But at the same time, the Irish people should be taught. Every community centre, every village, every church hall, everywhere in Ireland, in Eire, they should have a speaker or even a Skype call where there's one speaker telling them all the crack, whatever the crack, so that the Irish people know what they are getting, know what they did vote for, and know what was taken away unlawfully and illegally from them, and know that that is what we are invoking. Nothing else. I mean, no controversy.
Keep it simple. A quiet revolution.
Are we live at the moment?
We're completely live on Facebook.
Is anybody listening?
I'm not on the Facebook, but I'm not even looking at the Facebook. I'm just 100% taking in what you're saying, but it will be there, you know.
Okay, well look, I often get asked by Billy Maguire to read from Public Naher and the Provisional Government of the Irish Republic to the people of Ireland, the Proclamation.
Sure.
Now, I'm happy to read the Irish Proclamation from 19. Yeah.
For what you do.
But I have written a new one.
Oh, you've written one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's only for my court case. And who am I to dictate? Who am I to say this should happen? Who am I? Yeah. So this is a very simple poet's proclamation. Can I read it out to you?
Crack on. Let the people hear it.
To the sovereign men, women, sons, and daughters of Eire, in the name of all gods, all deities, all cultures, and all religions, we confirm our allegiance to Eire and all who reside on this beautiful island, all 32 counties. For past generations who fought valiantly, but not triumphantly, with calls to arms, we now use our knowledge of our Creator, our mothers and the fathers who planted the seed. They are our creators, and family is highest of all. However, firstly, let us confirm that on 6th of December 2021, all British licenses and power over any chattels and land were extinguished. 100 years of a fraudulently achieved contract is now over. We now take back the chosen 32 county sovereign republic of Eire, and the people's voice shall be heard. We are not citizens, however, And with that, I call upon the Roman Empire to admit it was wrong in enslaving our land and peoples as a gift, a talon, if you will, to the British Empire. Remove all aspects of their power and will over its subjects, as they are welcome to continue as such. So on this day, the 15th of December, 2021, that's when I thought I'd be reading it out. Maybe it's the 25th of January instead. Britain and the Vatican control ends. We will help the media and the mediums and our people to adjust. But we ourselves will need to implement draconian and extraordinary methods and legislation to protect our land and people, all fauna and flora, and our oceans and seas surrounding this treasure at the end of the world. A referendum of all 32 counties will be held, and the people's voice will be heard. Those in fear, which is a lie, may leave. Those who live in the power of love may stay. All are forgiven, and all are debt-free, sin-free, and the next step into era is a step into heaven on earth. And I want to finish off with a poem that goes like this. Let's start again and get it right. Work by day and sleep by night, if we're to win the greatest fight and change the world we live in. The here and now, it's all we need, to act as one and all take heed and end the days of hate and greed. For past indiscretions, we're forgiven. Light the torch to guide our way and lead us through each single day. And from the truth, we'll never stray to change the world we live in. The good we do, it'll shine right through with every action that we do. And love, it'll brighten up the view as this earth becomes our heaven.
Beautiful.
And I was told that I should put a few of my things on record. So can I put something on record for you right now?
What do you mean on record?
Okay, well, this is on record. You're recording this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's put this on record because they wouldn't let me do it on the 15th.
Okay.
It's from my book.
Yeah.
It's from my book. Okay. And I was told
by Sean Maguire.
I should put this on record because apparently, I don't know if it's true, there are other people plagiarizing, putting different covers on, saying it's theirs, etc. all over the world. Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently so. Well, I would be reclaiming era, my land, my poetry, everything.
Super.
Okay. From people like Thomas Sheridan, look him up.
Yeah.
He did the foreword on my book, by the way, so I'm quite able to say his name. Basically, I was told to read this page out. Out of the bag. Copyright circa 2013 by Sean Maguire. All rights reserved, including the right of reproduction in whole or in part or in any form. This edition printed and bound in the Republic of Ireland by Lettertech Ireland Limited, Spring Hill House, Carrigato Hill, County Cork, Republic of Ireland. www.selfpublishedbooks.ie. No part of this publication may be reproduced or transmitted by any device without the prior written permission of the copyright holder. This book may not be circulated without a cover or in any cover other than the existing cover. And that was back in 2013.
They want to take your country and they want to take your... What's going on here, Sean?
Yeah.
If you weren't of high...
Yeah, and my family...
Nobody would want to rob you.
And my family. Now, listen, I didn't want this to become a poetry show, but apparently I was to read that, but I was also meant to read pages 13 and 14. Okay. And believe it or not, that was the running for elections. You already got me to read that.
Aye.
Okay, so that was already on record. Okay, and the other one is page 13 and 14. Okay, this one is a different poem. Can I read it to you?
Yeah, sure. Crack on.
It goes like this. They wanted me to put this into the record. No signature by the judge.
Yeah.
I close my eyes, I rest my head, and I see a vision. A vision where ideology reigns supreme. where every man, woman, and child and creature of love can fulfill their every dream, where we don't stand in each other's way to see the light, where we don't cast shadows across what we know is right, where the air we breathe is fresh and clean, and the land we live in is just lush and green. Well, these are the visions I long to keep, the ones that I wish would be more than just sleep. If you wish that some of the things I say might become apparent in our world someday, then tell me more about your dreams. And do mine fit into your scheme of things? Because when I wake tomorrow and find things just the same, is there maybe a chance that a part of that vision will remain? Will the vision spread like pollen and everyone awaken? Or is it really just a dream? And have I been mistaken? So that's that one. And I think there's only one more, if you can bear with me, that they wanted on record. And it was after we vacate the judge from his position or her position. Okay, and it's page 28.
The bench judges never had poetry like this, Sean. Maybe this is the way to chase them out of the chamber.
Maybe so. I really don't know. Okay, but this is what I've been asked to by a lot of people, specifically Brian McArthy and the anti-eviction task force and people like that. Okay, and it goes like this. Before you go, are you happy with what's here? Before you leave things to your children, is it clear? Will you feel like hanging around another year? Or will you wash your dreams away with one more beer? Before you're on your way, would you ever return? Before you disappear, is there more that you can learn? Will you cry for freedom or for liberty yearn? Or have stories of future greatness been put on that fire to burn? Before departing, have you got much more to say? Before moving on, I would like to know the way. Will you believe in tomorrow as well as today? Or do our children really have to pay or pray when they just deserve to play?
So profound, succinct, wonderful. Can we end by, I'm just going to make a little appeal.
Absolutely. Any questions, man? Oh, by the way, can I make an appeal? Yeah. I am homeless. I know you want about the PDF. I am homeless. I am broke at the moment. I'm trying to sort that out. I'm trying to sort the homeless thing out as well. But if anybody can help in any way, it's costing me a fortune, petrol backwards and forwards, etc., etc. I don't like money and I don't like asking. But if anyone can help with my PayPal, it's outofthebagpoetry@gmail.com. Or if anyone wants to meet me and buy a book, or if anyone wants to go on PayPal and say this is for a book, it's €15 including postage and packing, pretty much to anywhere. I think maybe add a bit more if you come from Canada or Hawaii or somewhere. I don't know, but that's I need a bit of help is what I'm saying financially.
We'll put the link under the video somewhere in the comments.
Yeah. And yes, thank you.
So what I'm saying is, to end this off, a couple of quick things.
Yes, sir.
The public officials, none of this dreadful crime where children are being stolen and vulnerable are being abused in the most inhumane way imaginable, that it cannot happen without these public officials playing the game and participating, and they might be trapped by the wages and they're under certain pressure. But we're aware many of them are uncomfortable and are doing what they can to make a change, as we have seen with the one we revealed on your show. The court manager stepped forward and put in black and white exactly what was going on, and she took a big risk. Yeah. And these are people that are not going to be named in the Queen's New Year Honours list, which
of course.
Named. Yeah.
Well, listen, the Queen herself knows about the date, the 6th of December. She, above anyone else, knows the history and the date.
So the Queen will be watching this program while people watch the Queen's.
Maybe so. I mean, that's why the Queen has to put her foot. That's why the Queen has to put her foot on the Rock of Cashel every year. She has to place her foot on it.
She's an expatriate, man. So also we have a document which we revealed on Sean's program last year. It's called Check My Code File, and lots of people are sending it off. Thousands of cases, tens of thousands being interrogated, and this is.
And use it, guys. Use it.
Let me see if
Don't
I
just
can
download the PDF. Use it.
Check My Code File. bit.ly / caseman123, and we're gonna put it on the link under the video. And Sean, it's been amazing that you can muster the energy, time, and resourcefulness to when all your stuff your life been smashed to smithereens, and here we are broadcasting it, putting it out. It's going in the blockchain. It can't be destroyed anymore. And God bless. We're gonna do many more, but we just wanted to concentrate on the key points. You know, Ireland is legally and lawfully a free country. And the corrupt system is, you've exposed it, you beat them, and it's just another step in the journey, Sean. Thank you very much for donating.
You're welcome.
Your privacy and your bearing your soul, and coincidences coming, that it's the timing and so on. It's what's
it's
the word?
Magical. It's
synchronicity, something going on beyond. So thank you very much, and God bless, and have a wonderful Christmas. I'm sure we'll talk. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I just want to say that Anthony, for the work you do, you're a very, very special man. Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you and all your loved ones. I hope you have a very good one.
Thank you very much.